Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive.
Always exciting to see what we'll be uncovering today.
We absolutely love it when you send us stuff to dig into, and today's pick is a real head scratcher.
Oh,
Yeah, so we got this blog post titled Stroke Weight Loss Polyneuropathy Recovery
okay.
from a blog called Ira Warren Whiteside's blog, Information Sherpa.
Interesting title.
I know, right? The title alone had me hooked.
It certainly paints a picture of a journey.
It does,
Yeah.
right. And get this. Ira is a data governance consultant with a background in intelligence and data science.
So not your typical health and wellness blogger.
You got it. I mean, you wouldn't typically expect someone in that field, that kind of background, to share such a personal story, right?
Yeah, that's a fascinating contrast for sure. Like data and personal experience, often seen as separate things kind of coming together.
Exactly. And his story is pretty wild. So he starts off talking about this incredible weight loss journey, right?
Okay.
He lost over 125 pounds. But then, and this is where it gets crazy, he starts having serious issues with his speech and balance.
Oh, wow. That's unexpected.
I know. It threw me for a loop. Like, how can losing weight, something we usually think of as healthy, lead to these problems? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's definitely a paradox. And it all goes back to this thing called polyneuropathy.
Poly what?
Polyneuropathy. Basically, think of it like damage to the information highways of your body, your peripheral nerves.
Gotcha.
These nerves, they're located outside your brain and spinal cord, and they're like the messengers, right? They relay messages for sensation, movement, even some bodily functions.
Oh, I see.
So when your body goes through big changes, like losing a ton of weight really quickly, it can sometimes mess with these pathways.
And that's where polyneuropathy comes in.
Exactly.
So that's why Ira had those speech and balance issues. Those nerves weren't working right.
Precisely. And polyneuropathy can affect different nerves in different ways. So in Ira's case, it sounds like the nerves that control muscle coordination and speech were impacted, hence the challenges he faced.
Makes sense. That must have been incredibly frustrating for him.
Absolutely.
But you know what struck me? Ira's attitude. He doesn't regret losing the weight, even with the complications.
Yeah, I noticed that too. He seems very positive.
Why do you think that is?
I think it shows he's looking at the big picture. I mean, yes, polyneuropathy is serious, but long-term weight loss has huge benefits, right?
Sure.
It reduces the risk of heart disease, diabetes, certain cancers, and so much more. So it's about weighing the potential risks and benefits.
So it's not as simple as saying losing weight equals good health.
Exactly. It's more nuanced than that.
There are more factors to consider.
Exactly. And that's where personalized medical guidance is crucial, right? It's about figuring out what works best for each individual, considering their specific needs and situation.
Because what works for one person might not work for another.
Precisely. And Ira's story is a perfect example of that.
Absolutely. And speaking of his story, he mentions his daughter, Victoria, as being super important in his recovery.
Oh yeah, he talks about her a lot.
He even credits her with helping him regain his speech.
That's amazing.
It really highlights how important a good support system is, right?
Oh, absolutely. Having someone there for you, someone who understands and encourages you, can make a world of difference in recovery, both physically and emotionally.
It's a reminder that healing isn't just about medical stuff. It's also about the people around us.
For sure.
Now, I want to circle back to Ira's background for a second. What do you make of this data expert sharing such a personal, anecdotal story? It's not exactly what you'd expect.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? It's like he's blending two worlds. We tend to see data and personal narratives as separate things, but Ira's story shows how they can be connected. Data gives us a broad understanding, but personal experiences provide that rich human context that statistics sometimes miss.
I see what you mean. And it's fascinating how Ira, someone who clearly values data and analysis, also stresses the importance of being careful with information. He talks about decimating information and watching out for twisted statistics, especially when it comes to health.
Yeah, he's really emphasizing the need to be critical of the information we come across, especially these days with so much information overload.
It's easy to get caught up in headlines or cherry-picked data.
Exactly. We need to be smart about the information we consume, questioning the source, understanding the context, and talking to experts to avoid falling for misinformation.
It's a good reminder for all of us.
Absolutely.
So from this deep dive into Ira's blog post,
Yeah.
what have we learned? We've learned that even positive changes, like weight loss, can come with unexpected side effects.
Right.
We've learned that personalized medical guidance is key,
Absolutely crucial.
and that having a strong support system can make a world of difference.
Oh, definitely.
But maybe the most important takeaway is this. We need to be critical of the information we take in.
Be skeptical.
Question its validity,
And think about how it applies to our own individual journeys.
because everyone's different, and there's no one-size-fits-all solution.
Well said. Ira's story is a powerful reminder that we need to be proactive in our health journeys. We need to approach information critically, talk openly with our doctors, and build strong support networks.
It's a great reminder that knowledge is power, especially when it comes to our health. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into Ira's story. It's been a fascinating journey,
Definitely.
and we hope you'll keep those insights in mind as you navigate your own health path. See you next time.
See you then.
Bye.